I mean, we had some golden nuggets, and I appreciate our special time. But now it's I need to keep a record because if I hit level 5 and don't have anything,
this is just sleepy time session.
Sleepy time sessions.
Yeah, we're handing out. We're using our nap karate as well as our animal bullets. Everybody's going this.
The Mimi's LMG.
Requesting support fire. We've got hostiles on the bridge.
I like Mimi's gun.
I like Mimi's gun.
Copy that.
I like Mimi's. A quick. Oh boy. Stupid! You just like walked right in front of me. It's stupid. Boom. I don't know who's dumber, him or me. My field proficiency went up. Boom. About to die though. I got this.
You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I got my Healy boys. You got a Healy from your feelies. Alright. Doesn't it suck when they offer you... You know what? One of my favorite, and I didn't realize until I played this game, one of my, I guess, favorite video game mechanics is in Halo, when they have that, like, machine gun that you could, like, rip it off.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much I love that up until this. I played this game, and I was like, oh.
How cool of a feature that was.
Yeah. And I think there's always time to appreciate Halo. Got you, buddy. Estúpida. Wee woo.
Oh, we got calm.
System restored.
Sample security. Preparing to exfil.
Copy that. Good work.
I can't wait to do the banner with the sticky time bear. I'm so excited.
Let me adjust my settings. Audio. Let's bring master volume down a bit. Sounds good.
That helicopter took out the turbines. We're fucking stranded.
Wyvern, you need to exfil on foot right fucking now. We need those goddamn antivirals.
You want me to run away? I thought you knew me better than that.
This is an order, Wyvern. Wyvern, you copy.
Alrighty. Say something real quick.
Monday?
Oh, there we go. There we go. I was adjusting my audio levels so I could hear you better.
That's what's up.
Doing the explodies. And this nice people, what's up, man? I'll show them what's up.
I got a turret. Dude, turret. My little baby, my little turret baby just really like went pra-ta-ta-ta-ta.
That's a pretty good turret.
Thanks. It's because I could roll my R's because I'm Latina. Latinx.
Latinx. I just
turn a grenade up. Another grenade up. motherfucker. Ah!
Oh, we got a fucker reviving everybody? No!
You remember when I was trying to make like a G-rated fucking stream and then I realized the video game itself curses more than we do?
Yeah.
That was funny. That was a hoot.
Those were the times.
Rim... No. How's your
Good.
back?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna blow up the motherfucking White House.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
We need to
She's
cripple
out
these
of her
assholes.
freaking mind,
So that's
man.
what I'm gonna do.
Christ, she's insane! Agent, do whatever you can to prevent the launch of those rockets.
Right behind you, buddy.
Boom, got him.
Little support.
Man. There's nothing more about your
Launchers
support.
are loaded.
God damn it, Wyvern. Stand down.
Negative, sir.
I want you to die for this country. It's like, Yahweh? Yahweh?
Okay. Okay.
Fireworks? Won't be disappointed. Target locked. Initiating launch sequence.
Jesus Christ. Everyone, this is not a drill. We need to evacuate the building right now. Repeat, this is not a drill.
I'm gonna speedrun this boss fight.
Yes. That's what I needed. Right behind you.
Watch out, it's gonna blow
Yeah.
up.
Amp it up. Oh my god, this guy in his turret. Who does he think he is? BMO in a box with chocolate chip cookies? Doubtful. Look, I know it was selfish to ask for Amanda too, so I'll just take
Look
BMO
what you can get.
and the cookies.
Okay, you drive a hard bargain.
Rocket launch backup. Activated. Launch sequence initiated.
Once I get to World Tier 5, I'm gonna paint a painting for the clan.
Say that about anyone.
Awesome. That's really all. That's all we need. We just need our creativity to just flourish.
Yeah, it's the content creation. Like, I literally just do this. I play this game for inspiration.
Come to save the day, huh?
This is
You're
just
a
the
real
medium,
goddamn
the
And to express our art.
yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
Wee
So the
beep
simple
beep.
is that we're not going to be fighting her immediately, or Riven, I should say. We're going to be fighting. We're going to disable these dumb turrets further before we can.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Oh my god.
Oh my. Oh my Gyarados. Oh my Gyarados. I was super proud. I showed
Oh my
Eric.
deal, man.
I was like, look, Eric,
Okay.
I got 32 likes on one of my comments.
Launch sequence initiated.
And the comment just read, when I, an atheist, say OMG, I hope you guys all know I'm referring to Gyarados. And I had this badass picture of Gyarados. Got a lot of likes for that.
It's starting to piss me off. Quick and painless is no longer an option for you.
Oh, I'm down.
Vital signs critical.
I'll be right there.
I'm stemming it up.
I'm coming, I'm speedrunning you.
Gino, it's super sad, but it's true. How does it feel like to work in a place where your coworkers like you?
How does it feel like to work in a place where my coworkers like me?
Yeah.
I'm
Where like I would probably like it. My like repeat. I'm sure like I'm not everybody's cup of tea and stuff, but like
Yeah.
the pattern is like like the gay people like me or the gamers like me, but everybody else fucking hates me. So like,
Well, to be clear, I'm not like walking in the office and then like everybody's high-fiving me. That's not what it's like. Also, I died. You need to pick me up. And, you're
and
gonna
I'm
die
dead.
too.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, I really had hoped you would approach that with the situation with a little more tact, because now I gotta do it all over again.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like I'm going around like high-fiving everyone the moment I walk into work. Like it's really, it's like you find the people that you like, and then those are the people that you pick them, you keep it to a minimum, and you don't socialize any further. And like you can find someone who's cool, but then it becomes managing your friendships outside of work, because
Well,
my
I mean,
biggest issue right now is that I have friends in and out of work, and it's like you're finding the time to spend with everybody, or like
you remind me of
have any
Eric when
hobbies?
when I first met Eric. He's like, yeah, I'm kind of closed on new friends. Like it's a lot of management. It's like you guys are like D&D masters trying to like fucking master all these like personas and personalities and stuff. Like
Well, I mean, for
fucking
real, dude,
popular
like, when I
boys.
came, it's not even that we're popular. It's just that
It is. You guys
tight group.
don't be like that. It's you. Like, let's be real. Let's be real for the stream. Let's be real. You and Eric are popular boys. It's okay.
Okay, I mean, like, it's not up to me to decide if I'm popular or not. So if people outside of me saying that I'm popular,
Oh my god!
I see. I'm here helping you out. Hold on. Yeah, that popularity isn't for me to decide.
True. So then I'll go ahead and establish you and Eric are both popular, not for like any vapid reason. Like you're popular because you guys have like something awesome to offer, and when people recognize that, they're fucking drawn to it like bees to honey, or bees to flower, bees to pollen. There we go. I gotta get my bee.
You got
My
your effects.
yeah. I gotta get my bee back straight.
I don't know, it's not like we praised the bee or anything.
See, when you think that we're saying praise be, but we're really saying praise be.
Yeah. I get it, and yeah, I mean, so it really, I mean, I stand by my statement that, considering the fact that, that I may be more popular than I am aware of. Mm-hmm. But in reality, it's like
that's your humble pie.
Making friends isn't too hard for me. Like, especially when you find something that you have in common with people, and you just latch onto that. And I don't like that. I don't like that one thing becoming like my defining quality. I like people based on who they are, the decisions they make, and the impression they leave on me. Because in that way, it doesn't matter what they're into. Like, it's just like, oh, like, this person's really into, like, making postcards, like, or whatever, you know, and I'm like, that's really cool. It's not something I'm into, but, you know, you're a really pleasant person, and, you know, there are a lot of things.
Hold on, Gino, I think we need to, Gino, I think we need to switch, audio to, like, an actual, yeah. Can you do that? Because I can't do it under these conditions. I could barely do it regularly.
If you hide somewhere, I can protect you.
Okay. I'm gonna hide right here. And protect party. Whew. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
You're starting to piss me off.
All right, so
Painless is no longer an option.
the main important.
That's so much better.
Awesome. Yeah. The
Yeah.
game was getting a little loud on my end too. So like, the biggest factor for me. I know. I got you.
Let me heal up.
Yeah, heal up. The biggest factor for me isn't so much like quantity. It's like retention. Like I don't want to make a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And that because then what'll happen is if you just have too many friends, you inadvertently turn into a chore having to spend time with everybody. Now, of course, the friends that you make that are more meaningful in a sense that, you know, like Eric and everybody, you know, it doesn't matter. Like there is no expiration date. They understand that, you know, the attention that you're providing is like is something to just like like whenever we hang out with Eric, like or Robbie or any of my old friends from my hometown, you know, it's kind of it's nice and I cherish it. I just like I don't know how long it's gonna be. What's up?
It's special. That shit's special.
It is. It's opening up that bottle of wine that you've been saving for a special moment.
Yeah.
You know,
oh my god. Somebody sniped me and like fucked me up.
I think it's this doggo. There's this.
Okay, I'll get him. I got my little turret. That's all set up. I got my rolly boys.
I'm gonna focus on this bitch over here because she just keeps fucking me up, man. She was the one who murdered me the last time. But yeah, like it's, you know, you let it breathe, you enjoy each other's company, you just treat it with care. And then you have these new relationships. It's
so. I think the most interesting thing for me is because I'm an army brat. Like. It's me developing like not only like the awareness of and the consciousness of like having friends and maintaining friends, but like having the ability, like, Gino, this is the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my life, and I'm coming up I just came up 8 years. It's the longest place I've ever been, ever. Like so like for me it's all brand new. This is such brand new territory for me. So like when I get super like emotional and like in happiness, like I'm fucking gay, bro. I'm so gay all the time. We're advancing to tier 5 and I'm still gay. Yay. Fuck Gino, we did it. So that's, I mean, I definitely appreciate it, but like since I moved around so much, I could kind of like I could see the outlines of clicks. I could see the outlines of clicks very quickly, especially like in a workspace like that, because like I've been trained, like that's my whole life. I'm like, oh, that's a click, that's a click, that's a click. Where am I gonna fall in line? By the time they get to know me, I'm gonna leave. So
So there's for me it was very interesting and completely opposite of the experience that you had. So for me growing up, I was a little deprived as a young child. I mean like my home we lived with family. My friends were my cousins, my
yeah,
relatives,
yeah. I think
and
that's how everybody starts off.
yeah, but mine didn't. Mine was like that for a very long time. I didn't make any. I think my first friend, um, it was two people. One of them ended up being a carny and addicted to meth. The other
No.
one, actually, the guy that was my roommate, Juan, he's like my brother. Like, he and I, we've been friends forever. And
Hey, remember?
I put, all the people that I've known for so long, and still maintain that friendship, that relationship. So, what ended up happening was I just kind of became blind to all of the anything that was like social normativity.
Yeah, because you were
Like
blending your
I didn't know,
family with friends, and so
not necessarily. So yes, to a degree, I didn't realize that there were certain things that I had to be careful of. But the thing is that I didn't get pushback on that. So like I didn't know what clicks were. I didn't know that there was an image, there was a secondary image that everybody saw. It was like what people saw and who I was were one and the same.
yeah.
So like I came in with the same attitude. I didn't really change for anybody. So when not as like a standpoint like screw the social
Oh, I
system.
see.
I just didn't know any
I
better.
see what you mean.
So
Like
I
you were
had like this pure intent of and no veil of like knowing exactly what I'm doing, and so I just kind of hung out with everybody and was generally accepted. There, I mean, my basis of friendship was you're not mean to me, so I'm gonna hang out with you, and then like I would joke around a lot and like just just hang out with people, and like I would hang out with cholas, I'd hang out like with nerds, goths, and like
That's
I was
cute.
kind of in everything too, like
Yeah, and that's a type of like, I use the word popular, and I know that there's a lot of negative connotations with that, of like popularity being like this, like given privilege and all this stuff, but like there's a thing. I feel like popularity, especially like, can transcend social and economics, because like you could be really really fucking vibrant and have a vibrant personality, and that's how you end up in different social economic situations that you otherwise would never have. And that's what I
and well you
mean
see
when I use the word popular. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
you know how to engage and maintain, and like it's not in I feel like there's definitely like this connotation negative to popular, because like a lot of American cinema is like, oh, the popular kid and blah blah blah,
Yeah,
and
they're usually seen as snobby,
yeah,
self-centered, and like
yeah,
just this. Yeah, I completely understand, and that's because a lot of the things that you said, I check those things off my list. And you're absolutely right, because I did grow up poor. I did grow up, on like at some points needing government assistance, and it was just like we lived on a lot with. It was my
is that a
grandma's
helicopter?
property.
I'm
I
listening, but
had
that's a
like
helicopter drone.
what,
Oh my god,
which
it is a big boy.
where are you talking?
There's a big
You're
ass.
somewhere else. Yeah, I'm joining you because
Oh my
that's gonna be a
god.
thing.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like I did grow up poor. I did grow up not knowing, I was always in the lower middle class spectrum of like income. I lived on a lot with like 3 other families, of course, all my relatives, but it was just like that was it. We lived in we
I'm
all
down.
shared resources, and
I'm gonna
I'm
stem.
fast traveling.
That's okay.
Yeah, stem your bleeding. I'll be there
I gotcha.
soon. And then like coming to school, I think high school is when I really blew up, because in middle school, like I didn't have any interests. I just kind of whatever. I was just there for class, and I was a good student, so it was just like, oh, teacher's gonna tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be fun. And that was just kind of it. Like I just, as I grew older, that's when I started having more elective classes. I know music was a pretty big part of my life. I was in band. I played the clarinet before I was in school, so that was a big deal. And there was just a whole bunch of things that
Contributed to your overall
yeah,
persona.
who I decided to become. Like,
Yeah. With
as an
me,
individual.
I definitely had a very different experience. I mean, I technically have a very large family,
Uh-huh.
but since we moved so much, nobody, and me being the youngest one, like I wasn't able to kind of, like, I was the
Yeah,
youngest
you didn't know
one.
them.
Yeah, I was the youngest one, and like anybody that was younger than me was like way younger than me, like 3, 4 years old, and so
Or
like,
mhm.
and then hold on, I'm trying to get this freaking drone. Woo!
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm fighting the drone as well. Pain in the ass.
Boom. Heli drone. Get it. So I grew up without like any type of like cousins in my age range, and then both of my sisters were just old enough to me that they didn't really relate to me, and
Yeah.
so I definitely had to like, since I was younger and plus size, since I was a
Uh-huh.
cute little chubby girl, um, my like I was living in Florida, and I specifically remember this interaction where I tried so hard to be kind and friendly, and it was like the first time like my friendliness was being rejected for
Mhm.
no other reason than clout. So I was just like very confused, and then I understood, and I had to like, I was like framed with the question of like, am I going to care about what these people say and let it ruin me, or am I going to just not give a fuck? And I was in the 3rd grade, and I decided, man, fuck these bitches, and it's been like that
Yeah.
ever since.
So
And
I mean,
like,
like that, I had that mentality very early on, and it wasn't so much that I like I had that level of conviction where I'm just like fuck what everybody thinks. No, I it wasn't that I cared. It's just that I didn't know to care yet.
so I was kind of like thrusted, maybe because like when you're like, for girls, like we are expected
Uh-huh.
to look and be perceived. Maybe that like because it's younger, like I remember all the girls were shopping it at like Limited and Limited 2, and none of that clothes fit me because I was bigger. I've always been a bigger girl. And so like it was just kind of like that was the division between me and them. Like it was like a physical division that they created, and then after that like it
What might
just
say it's Division Two?
you bitch. I love it. And then but I remember specifically one of the reasons is like since we moved so much, I had to go to a public school for about maybe a year. But my parents didn't want to spend like the 300 something dollars on school uniforms. And then they're like, we're going to give her a waiver so she doesn't have to wear school uniforms. So I mean, not only did I stick out being the new kid, I was the older kid that didn't have to wear a uniform. So then, and what I thought was cool was wearing board shorts and graphic tees with like surfers and shit, because I'm from an island and that's what everybody around me wore. The girls would wear it, the boys would wear it, and like Roxy and Quicksilver, and those were like the brands that I always liked, and like that's what I did. And then because I wasn't dressing, like not only was I not dressing in uniform, I was dressing like a boy. And
Yeah, it's like you weren't conforming on a level that was just like
just enough to be like,
uh
fuck this bitch.
yeah. you're defying like every social normativity, every social normality that like that existed in this school's tenant day, and it's like, yeah, and I get that, and honestly, for me, it was because listening to your situation growing up, that sounds so chaotic and so restraining. Like for me, I lived in this ignorant freedom that was just so
Oh, it
uh
sounds like heaven. It sounds like
yeah,
heaven, dude.
it
I was
really
like
is.
thrust into like being hyper aware that I was different very
Yeah,
early on,
and
and it's like it's a good thing. I mean, it's the double-edged sword
I
of
wouldn't say it's good
consciousness.
or bad. Because
Yeah.
I think that that's just part of being human. Everybody has an experience that is so unique that the only thing we can find similarities that are light. And I like to go. I didn't know what that was, and so oftentimes I would have friends who would just, would just disappear for some time, and I didn't know what happened to them, and I always wondered, and I thought it was just until the
Yeah.
concept realized that, oh no, their families leave together to go work, and they come back after the season's over, and like understanding that, and then just knowing why half my student body would
Was
disappear during
gone.
that.
Yeah, I did experience
Yeah.
that a bit in Florida. I was like,
And
what?
yeah, and then of course we didn't have to pay for our lunches ever because
I'm down.
in elementary or middle school, I don't know where you're at anyway,
I
because
had
so
to
much
pay
of us
40 cents. I had to pay 40 cents. And then so I remember
so
keeping 4 dimes on me.
there was we lived in such a low income area that we just school lunches were just provided to us by the city. And so we would have like the cafeteria lunches. We would have vending machines and other amenities,
I'm
but it was
dead
never.
now. I'm not
Where
just
are
down, I'm
you?
dead.
I don't know where you would be. But it
It's
was
okay.
there was
I'll respawn.
yeah there no, so you just responded to me, yeah, so like there were a lot of things that I did miss out on, and a lot of things that I didn't understand growing up based on like what the media told me, like a normal, Midwestern, um, like like school or stereotypical childhood was, because yeah, there was just a lot that I didn't experience being, just in a poor neighborhood, being a minority, and that's another thing too, like I didn't know that I was a
I was a
minority
minority.
until
Yeah,
yeah.
that's our little white passing privilege showing itself. Like, hey, you got fucking away with some shit. And I totally did, dude. I totally got away with a lot of shit because I was white passing.
Well, for me, it wasn't that. I wasn't like I wasn't a light-skinned Mexican my whole life. It wasn't until I
You
grew up
weren't?
and I realized, no, I tan very
Oh, I tan really well
dark,
too.
but that's
I,
the thing. Well, I mean, mind you, when I was a kid, I was outside 24/7. Like this was before video
oh.
games came into my life. This was before computers. Like this was
You know
like
what?
100%.
I would love to see a bar graph that shows like data is
My
beautiful. The
what is it? Skin
cancer
color over time. And
skin
I'll have a
cancer
bar. I
rates
have a line
going
graph.
down as video game consumption is going up,
Yeah.
and be
Well,
like,
I mean, it's
video
the
games
same
cure
thing.
cancer, bro.
It's the same thing that we're going right through right now, where it's like, oh, pollution's going down the more people stay inside.
Oh
You
yeah.
know. And have you seen the New York skyline, dude? Like the smog is gone. Or
Dude,
like
imagine
I've been,
LA. You know what I
dude.
did?
Yeah, no, dude.
I did
The people are
see
posting
the
pictures. It's amazing, man.
dolphins, both
Yeah.
dolphins and
There's a cool video that somebody posted where like dolphins with
and
like a
jellyfish.
bioluminescent after effect in the
What?
waters of California. Yeah, I don't. The video that I saw claimed that it was real. I don't believe that it is, because but I've
But it's so
neither
pretty. Fuck
confirmed or
it.
been. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm willing to. It's beautiful, absolutely yes, but I'm not too sure. I know nothing
I
about.
did see for sure. I did see the dolphins back in the in Italy, in the
Yeah, so
canals
yeah,
of Italy, and a
wildlife is used.
beautiful jellyfish. Like you could see like on to the bottom of the canals,
Yeah. Oh,
and
that in general, like it's just wildlife in general. It's just is
can we talk
is just
about like
became.
how the I guess that like that's the biggest positive. Like I hope that this is the like in any other perspective, like in an alternative perspective, outside of course the respect for those that have passed. The
Yeah.
on the positive side of all of this is that like this is like the closest we'll ever get of people like unconsciously doing their part within their carbon emissions, companies having to switch and shift, and it's just like, and the fact is that
Well,
like
that's the thing.
there
Like
was the
we were owed, or the planet was owed this a long time ago because
mhm.
the foundations for a pandemic were being set very long ago, and it was unclear when it was going to happen, but it was simply
We
inevitable.
knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like we had to prepare for it because there's no like it happens so often in history. Like if you're looking in the span of like a decade,
Yeah,
or
the
not a decade, a
Spanish
century,
flu.
you have like you like a century, 1,000 years. Like it's just so much has happened in that relatively short amount of time, considering how old the Earth is. Like there are waves of this happening, and it's like any biological organism. It just like kind of goes through a cycle.
Yeah, and that's like, I guess like the idea of maybe even like it's flu season, right? So like maybe there was a time where like there was
Or
no
it
flu
just
season. We just didn't know why everybody was dying all of a sudden. But like now, like the coronavirus, COVID-19, I believe that's gonna come back seasonally. Like it's not
so
gonna go away. And even if there is
from
a
what I
cure,
understand,
like
from what I
a bunch of fucking
understand,
anti-vaxxing assholes aren't gonna take it. Like,
so, well, that's the thing. Like, this is what I'm gonna say. With the
uh-huh.
knowledge that I have, my sister being one of the
And the,
researchers
oh my
looking
god, your
into,
sister is one of the
she
researchers.
is,
With her,
and
dude, her bun was
yeah,
set to kill. Dude,
amen.
she was like,
It's gonna be her COVID, and she's ready. She's already. So,
dude, go on, tell me everything.
So I mean, well, mind you, that these aren't super secrets or anything. Like
I know.
this isn't anything. Like their data doesn't get published until things have been tested and confirmed and disproven. But what the way it would not be too outlandish to assume that this will become a seasonal thing, and then we will go through the cycle of developing antigens or antibodies to become more resistant to it. However, like the reality of the situation is that this is a disease, and the symptoms that this disease have are long term. Like for those who are infected, I know that the most targeted are people above a certain age and people who
Dude,
have
most
underdeveloped.
I,
I
I
think that
I
the
hear that,
biggest
but
target
here
are.
in Edinburgh, mostly everybody that's been getting it is in their 30s.
Well, that's the thing because they're not immune to it. But
Yeah,
it's not like people who are in their 30s are
aren't
just
gonna get it.
completely. It's just that people who have weakened immune systems are more susceptible to it, and people who are contracting it are are expected to have, at least with what has been treated so far, are expected to have long-term consequences because of it. Like people are having, lung issues. People are having
Yeah,
like there's a
I
lot
did
of.
read that like I mean everybody focuses on the deaths, right? But what needs
That's the biggest.
but
Yeah.
also along with that, it's the conscious um like the medical consciousness that is needed to regard all the long-term symptoms that have yet to be studied, because now all the people that did survive it, they need to be put in a study and see what the long-term effects are, and how that, you know, especially like the younger people that are babies are contracting it, teens are contracting it, you know, like there is more susceptibility in those like top categories, but the other categories like still needed to be that's going to be another 50, 100 years of research until we actually know.
Well, and then that's the thing. Because right now the idea is that what we know about this disease is effectively what we already knew about diseases in general.
Mm-hmm.
We can make safe assumptions that old people and young people are going to get it, or people who are old and they're at the, you know,
their immune systems are
latter half
weakened.
of their life. Yeah, their immune systems aren't developing, or any
Babies, autoimmune
antibodies
diseases,
or.
and
Well, yeah, anyone who's affected with an autoimmune disease, anyone who has an autoimmune disorder, or you know, people who don't have a developed autoimmune system,
which
everyone in between.
yeah, a girl at
like
my work, she's a cancer survivor, and if you're a cancer survivor with chemotherapy, you basically
you have a compromised immune
system.
Yes, absolutely, and so the issue there is, of course, we have people who are not in those categories, and they are contracting it, and so some people are asymptomatic carriers. A very small amount of people are asymptomatic carriers. However, the people who are symptomatic and recover are still suffering from long-term consequences. And now, mind you, that there are only a few, like the recorded cases that are publicized or at least public. Like I don't have any secret inside information, just because my sister's looking at this. I mean, like the sequence in which this is mutated is pretty much the extent of what I know, because that's what my sister shared. But it's not like. But there is still a lot that is unknown, and people who are ignorantly, you know, trying to maintain normality. Those are the people who are going to continue, and of course, like this time repeats itself. This has happened over and over and over again, in in history of time, which is why we had those plague walkers who would just go around and or plague doctors, I mean, who would go around and treat
bring out your dead.
Exactly, they would try to help minimize the catastrophe of the situation by making sure that they're, you know, doing this cleanliness sweep of just any corpses. But I mean, it's not fair to say that, you know, they were a little more cruel to the people who were affected by it. I mean, in reality, it's like, come on, dude. Like, there's only so much you can do. It's either you stay indoors and hope you don't catch it, or you catch it and you die.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the name of the game. And I mean, if people want the choice to go out and get it on their own, like, more power to them. But I also don't feel like it's fair to act as if it's just another day and not take any precautions, or seeing somebody taking precautions as like a weaker of spirits.
Issue,
like,
so
and
the biggest issue there
is ego.
No, not like if we completely remove the hubris of man, it's just like they're putting yourself at risk only puts other people at risk.
That's kind of why
in a domino effect, you know.
Yeah, and that's why, like, technically, you know, they said, you know, hang out with groups of 10 people or less. But the more people you hang out with, the worse, the bigger you're basically it's like a bet. It's like, how much do you want to bet? And I was like, you know what? I am in no position to be betting.
So,
and so
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Every time every person that you spend time with, of course, like if like I'm stuck at home, I am forced, of course this isn't a bad thing, but forced to
Yeah.
spend time with my wife and my dog. Like this is no that's just the reality of the situation. There is no expectation of us like leaving each other's space. Like she's in one room, I'm in the other. We're technically right now we are abiding by the social
Yeah.
distancing, and we it's just it's I don't know it's
What trips
I
me
don't know
out
where
is
to
that
take
you
it from
guys
here.
you guys are both inside, right?
Yeah, we're whenever we leave we wear a mask. Whenever
Yeah,
we go
yeah.
out
But check it out.
we don't
My
go out
son,
together.
yeah, my son and my husband are home, and I'm the only one that has to go outside. Even though I could do my entire job from my computer at home, no problem. But I've gotten to the point, like, when I do go to work, I stay away from everybody. Like, I'm the only one in the department, and I'm the only one near my shit, and that's the way I want to keep it. Which is cool, but at the same time,
Can you give
like,
me a laptop? I'm gonna have the Zoom meeting with my coworkers.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm tier 5, dude. We did it, and we're in the White
You
House.
did do
This
it,
is
man.
good. We're good. We did it.
No, yeah, dude, I'm just chilling. They just setting it up right now, so I'm just
Oh,
doing
that's
some
what's up.
early prep work. So I'm down to chat for a minute
All right, that's
while I
what's
get
up.
this set up. But
But yeah.
just to kick this topic to the curve, because there is gonna get a point in time where I'm just gonna be talking out of my ass because I'm not a resident expert.
It's
Can you hear me?
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. It's
I'm
alright.
stepping away, so you might hear me sound like a robot.
It's okay. I feel like we both could communicate. I mean, we're just communicating the situations, and basically we're communicating our gambles. Like how you gambling? What's your gambling like pool looking like?
So,
And that's, I mean,
so
it's
I
good to
can.
communicate. But what sucks is like over at work, like when
Uh-huh.
my supervisor is in on the conversation, nobody really likes to actually communicate with each other.
Uh-huh.
And because she has like this almost like disassociative state of positivity that just like it just makes it really uncomfortable to be yourself around, because it's like no matter what I say, oh, gotta stay positive. It's like, whereas like the
Yeah,
second that she's gone, we all get into the meat of it, how we actually feel, and then we could move on and get the work done. I don't know if
yeah.
that.
No, I understand, and I understand in the sense that it's like a coping mechanism. They're not trying to convince other people, and it's how they do the day to day. So,
I just feel like they're canning beans. Like, oh, I need to go in, can my beans for 8 hours, get my paycheck, and move on. Like, that's it. And the thing is that like some people are really good at just canning their beans. Like, I'm just gonna do this labor and I'm not gonna talk to anybody about it. I'm gonna get in and I'm gonna get out. But like now I'm in a situation where I literally like went into my department and I saw this one guy who I don't like already
yeah.
not have a mask on around everybody else, and everybody was acting like it was fucking
Like it
normal.
was okay. Yeah.
And I was like, and I've never had my mom, like, I didn't say anything. I just, like, my body language exuded, I didn't say anything, but my body language did. And then a second later, he's like, oh, let me go put my mask on. I just looked at his direction, reacted with my body, like, retched. I was like, oh, like, ooh. And I just, like, walked away. And then when I turned around, he went and he put his mask on. And I was like, my mom eyes and glare and body language just, like, permeated straight through the whole group. And, like, he knew he fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, and like let it to be real. Like 99% of the time, these fuckers know exactly what's happening.
Dude, and you know what?
Like,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. But
you're
dude,
good.
she called in sick today, and that was yesterday that it happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I'm
Hold
just
on real
like,
quick.
and I was gonna write an email about it. I was like, hey, I saw this guy, he wasn't wearing a mask, like, but I didn't, but I was in trouble for some bullshit. I'll tell you about it later. Like some menial bullshit that I have to like, not retaliate, but like, address, I guess, and be like, hey, you guys said this, and this, but this is what actually happened, this, and this, right? And so since I was like in hot water for some menial shit, I was gonna send that yesterday, but I literally called like one of the people that I trusted, the department, and I was like, hey, I want to write this, but I don't want it to seem that the only reason I'm doing it is because they did something to me. Now I'm trying to get her in trouble. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to look petty. And, but today she called in sick. So I'm just like, maybe I should write an email about it. After all, like, just for the record, I don't know. It seems crazy. I'll probably just write it to the supervisor. Like, above her. Because I can't talk to her about it because she's sick. But, like, that's crazy, though. Like, I'm not saying, like, A plus B, but fuck, it's literally right in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, and that's something I had gotten the chance to talk to my dad recently. And he was telling me about, like, you know, just stuff from his past, like, him, like, talking about his career in the military. And, something we bonded over is that interpersonal politics within an office environment is literally our hellscape. That is my truth. I fucking hate it, dude.
Yeah, that does suck. But let me let you go, my dude, because I have this meeting.
Zoom call. Yes. All right. Let's just take a pic real quick. Ready? Ready?
Oh, hold on. Where? No, I'm not ready.
No. Okay. Let me take a pic real quick. Let me get the camera. Boom.
All right, hold on. They're talking shit already.
All right. I'm gonna take it real quick. Ready?
Hey, man, I'm still here.
1, 2, 3, and capture. Boom. Got it.
I'll catch you later, homie.
Bye. Thanks for everything.